Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now September 18th of 2023, and as you all are very well aware, Bob Iger and the Disney Board of Directors have been making the worst decisions throughout all of this year that has led to the overall situation with the Disney stocks, and how it's hitting a real big low and not making any signs of a rebound for the remainder of this year, as well as for the first quarter of 2024. It's not looking good in that sense. We also have a lot of problems arising out of Disney Plus content getting purged and rates increasing in that sense as well. Bob Iger is not having a good year. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into what's going on with GINA Carano, also known as Cara Dune, for her role in the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus. Now, for those of you that do not know, this is an actress that was fired by Disney back in February to March of 2021. It was a whole controversy. I'm sure that most of you know the situation. But what's rather intriguing is a lot to do with what they recently did that was similar to the whole Johnny Depp scenario, where they were begging for GINA Carano to actually return and come back to play the role. Kind of similar to what they were trying to do with Johnny Depp to come back for Pirates. He kept turning them down, and Bob Iger recently tried to claim it was their idea to turn him down. It was a whole back and forth scenario. But what's interesting is exactly what Disney recently did in response to GINA Carano turning down multiple roles in Star Wars to really defend her self-respect, and this is where things get ugly. Now, with Disney continuing to make the worst calls for 2023, one major development has to do with what Disney recently did to essentially punish GINA Carano when she refused to return to multiple Star Wars projects after they begged her to return, similar to what happened, like I said before, with Johnny Depp for Pirates. One important update about this is what, in response, of course, by Disney, they did to her as a character for Cara Dune and her as an actress of her not coming back. They are now officially pulling the plug on showcasing GINA Carano's deleted scenes for a special edition of The Mandalorian Season 2. This decision has now been finalized, where initially it was only in the conversations. That is intended to drop on Disney Plus, by the way, sometime by the beginning of 2025. That will feature scenes between Luke Skywalker and Cara Dune, and an enhanced version of Luke Skywalker's face, using the deepfake technology like in the Book of Boba Fett to fix the scene. The special edition is planned to contain 30 minutes of extra scenes, deleted scenes if you will, around 8 minutes of which focused on GINA Carano as Cara Dune, including a short scene of her talking to Luke Skywalker about her sister, or about his sister I should say, Leia Organa. All of these scenes that Carano shot that never saw the light of day are now not going to appear in Mando Season 2's special edition. So before I get to the next big part of this development, let me just say one thing about this, is that so the main reason why they're doing this, from what it seems like, is to fix Luke Skywalker because of the major inconsistency between Mando Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. So that inconsistency that you all saw had to do with a change of technology. Basically, in Mando Season 2, it was more CG-focused, more CGI-focused stuff with, generated artificial voiceover work. But on top of that, with the Book of Boba Fett, there was a massive improvement in the way Luke appeared, because they used a more practical technology, deepfake technology, and it worked, in my opinion, better, far superior than Mando Season 2, to the point where it almost looks like Luke in Mando Season 2 is like when you compare video game consoles, like a PlayStation 2 to a PlayStation 4. That's my best way to describe, or my best analogy for how Luke appears in Mando Season 2 and how Luke appears in the Book of Boba Fett. So basically Disney wants to fix that inconsistency with this special edition by also unveiling deleted scenes in the process. Now, as a result of GINA turning down this massive Star Wars offering by Disney, they want nothing to do with her at all now. They don't even want to give her a limelight. They don't want to unveil her deleted scenes in this special edition of Mando Season 2, which, by the way, it's not coming out for a while. We're talking about the first quarter of 2025. It's a ways off, but it will be here before you know it. Just watch. So, I think that GINA did the right thing. Let me just say this, and I've said this multiple times for all the times that I covered this throughout the past month. I think that she made the right call here by defending her self-respect, not going back to Disney, similar to what Johnny Depp did. And look, I get it. They might not be on the same status level. You know, Johnny Depp has like boatloads of money. He could buy anything he wants. He, in fact, owns his own island. I don't know if you guys knew that. He does own his own island. That's how much money this guy has. When you're at a Johnny Depp status, nothing really matters. You can turn down anything. GINA Carano has nowhere near the net worth of Johnny Depp, and even she shot them down, and that is very telling. That is very revealing about how desperate Disney has become, and how much of a failure they really are for this year and what's looming for next. So, moving onwards, alright? The plan by Disney was that they would release these scenes if and only if Carano accepted to return as Cara Dune in Dave Filoni's movie, Mando Season 4, and the revival of the show called Rangers of the New Republic, which was in development, then canceled when she got fired, then got back in development briefly, and now officially is dead, since Carano walked away. This action by GINA is also forcing Disney to recast Cara Dune, since ILM needed more facial scans by GINA to design a CG version of Cara Dune with their new technology, which is now impossible without GINA. The special edition of Mando Season 2 will now only feature deleted scenes of Pedro Pascal without the helmet, Bo-Katan, and additional scenes of Luke Skywalker that will be enhanced with new tech this time around. So again, the fact that they are really pushing this hard, this special edition of Mando Season 2, to kind of serve as a bridge in between the waiting game of what happened with Mando Season 3 being a very big failure for Lucasfilm, and how fans are waiting for Mando Season 4. And you know what? It's a ways off. We're not getting Mando Season 4 now at this point until probably the middle or the later portion of 2025. It's that far off because they're still reworking the script. They can't really write anything right now because of the strike. And they're not going to begin filming, if anything, until probably like the middle of next year, maybe even later next year. So it's a ways off. So they're using this also as like a middle ground to kind of like fill in the gaps, to kind of create it as like a bridge, if you will, of waiting for Mando Season 4. So I think it's a very weak strategy on their part. I don't think anybody's really going to care. Who's really going to check out 30 minutes of deleted scenes that probably won't even be all that revealing anyway? It's probably just going to be like subpar content. You know, the only thing that I think fans will like coming out of this is the enhanced version of Luke, and that might be about it. So anyway, I would really like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.